You're in here. Okay. I know.
Three people I thought would be closer up front.
Hi. Where's the Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Green Dot training. I know you guys are all thinking, what the heck is this Green Dot? What does it have to do with the military at all? This training is unlike any other training you've had before. I know you've had some bystander training, but it was just kind of like, hey, go be a bystander. But there's really no tools, because when that situation happens, it's actually pretty hard to do, no matter how much you want to get involved. So we're going to be talking about sexual assault, which is our biggest problem, domestic violence, and stalking. And you may all have some kind of connection to this, unfortunately, if it's happened to you or somebody you love or care about, maybe a family member, a friend, something you've heard at work. So these things do happen. And just to kind of help us find a connection if you don't have one, everybody close your eyes. My eyes are open so I can see if they're not. Jimenez, one eye open, one eye closed. It doesn't close. All right. This is going to be a rowdy bunch. All right, everybody close your eyes for a second. Hey. All right, guys, close your eyes. I want you to think about somebody you love, somebody you really care about that you wouldn't want anything bad to happen to. For me, it's my niece. Maybe it's your wife, your daughter. And now I want you to think about that person walking in the room, that feeling that you get. You can open your eyes. Look to the person next to you. That's your other connection. So if you're like me, you sat next to somebody that you like. Somebody that you won't be talking to, though, during my briefing. Okay? That person you care about. So that's your connection. My connection is, some of you know, some of you don't. I grew up in a very, very strict family. We didn't have TV. TV was bad. We had like the old Nintendo for like 2 days from a garage sale. We got it for like $5. And my parents took it away because it wasn't good to be playing video games. So very strict. I did karate for 8 years. My parents were big into defending yourself. So I was a little fighter in school and in high school. It was always awkward because when I'd get called in from the principals to come in, or for my parents to come in, because I'd gotten in a fight, they'd watch the video, and then they'd be like, yeah, good job. You got her good. She won't do that again. So that's how I was raised. And when we would, for fun, we'd go and stay the night with my friends on the weekends. But of course, my parents being really, really extremely strict, they would call and say, hey, you're not allowed to leave the house. No drinking, no partying, and as long as the parent agreed, we're good to go. So this weekend, just like any other weekend, it was going to be an innocent girls' night. But that one was a little bit different because the mom ended up leaving, and we're still young. I wasn't perfect. I was a good kid, but not perfect. So we found some alcohol and we started drinking. I didn't know my tolerance at this time, so probably didn't take much, but I got really drunk, really, really drunk. And I don't remember much, but what I do remember is that I woke up to her brother raping me. He took my virginity, something that was very precious to me. And after that day, I felt like it was my fault because I had drank and I was underage. Even though he hadn't drank, he wasn't even part of what was going on. I took the blame for it. I was very angry with myself. I didn't tell my parents. Still to this day, I haven't told my parents. But for something like that to happen, I never thought it would happen because I was tough, like I said. I was a tough young girl. That's how I was raised. My parents did everything right, but yet that happened. And those are real things that happen all the time. And I don't want it to happen to that loved one. Think about that loved one. You probably think the same thing. Hey, that wouldn't happen, but it can. It can happen. So too many of these things are happening to our airmen, people around us, the people that we're supposed to, have their back and take a bullet for, but yet these things are happening. So that's kind of my connection there. Next one. Okay, so we need to change the culture. And when you think of culture change, you think of something big. Like, I'm just one guy. What can I do? I can't make a difference. But culture change happens all the time. If you look at music, fashion, the flares are coming back. You're going to start seeing them. I love flares. Sorry, I got a pair. I'm ready for it. Hopefully the skinny jeans goes away for the guys. Sorry for the skinny jean wearers in the room. Sergeant Braxton's got a couple. If you look at the don't ask, don't tell, I know a lot of people, I thought, I know everybody's Republican in the military, and that's probably not going to happen. Well, guess what? Culture change, it happened. Things like this happen all the time. So it's not, can we change the Air Force, or can we change the culture? It's how can we? So I'm going to use an example of Facebook. Who in this room has a Facebook? Almost every hand. Cool kids. You should have seen the officers. There's like 3 of them. I'm like, you guys are cool. Or who has at least heard of Facebook? It's probably like every hand in here, right? So it started with a guy named Mark Zuckerberg. Obviously very smart because he went to Harvard. And I don't know if you've seen the movie. There's a movie that came out. I never got to see that. But I think, is it good?
Yeah.
See, I need to watch that. Okay. Anyways, so if you've seen the movie, you know. But he started this in his room. A lot of people open up websites. Big deal. Who cares? But the difference between this and all the other ones is that after he got done, he took the 2 minutes, put his email, password, boom, first one. Great. No big deal. But then he told his other 20 friends about it. He was like, hey guys, of course you gotta have friends or else you're definitely a creep if you have no friends on Facebook. So he told his 20 friends and they all opened an account, 2 minutes. And then it spread. So all over Harvard and then all over all the universities. So was it a culture change then? Nope. I mean, for the colleges, yes, but for everybody else, no. Well, then they opened it up and everybody started having one. High schools, and then it just kept spreading and spreading, and now, present day, we're looking at, I think, 1.6 billion people on the face of the earth have a Facebook account. So how did that change? Was it Mark Zuckerberg's big idea? Was it just him that did all of that? And it's just one guy doing it, right? No, it was everybody doing their part. Their 2 minutes, liking something, sharing something, talking about it. That spread it enough to where it's like a viral, it's like a disease, Facebook disease. All right, if you look at our map, now I do want you to think about kind of rare disease. What do we got? Zika virus is the recent one, or a zombie attack. Think about, you've seen this, even me and I haven't TV, I've seen something like this, where they're like, oh, the disease is here. And then all of a sudden the next day it's spreading, and then there's more dots and more dots. So pretty much the third day, the whole map is glowing red. The newscaster or military officer's dead. Hopefully a better ending than mine. But we've all seen this. So think of that like Facebook. Little things adding up. So now, this is a picture of Lake and Heath, of a map of Lake and Heath. This is our home, where we're supposed to feel safe. But yet, these red dots, instead of being Facebook, this is somebody's actions or words to harm somebody else. That's what those red dots resemble. And these are happening all the time to where it's become a culture. This is the norm for our base, for the military. That red dot can be something, you can go back. That red dot can be something as simple as somebody taking a couple minutes out of their day to pick on that weird, awkward airman that nobody really gets along with. Or, I picked him.